Ooh, you guys caught me. It caught me while I was adding a little ambiance to my office in here. So I figured I would check in and talk to my peoples, talk to my peoples. I've been up to a lot lately. I've been up to a lot, and this morning when I woke up this morning, the thought that was going through my brain was do you suffer from wanting to be liked? And I know when you look at that title, you're probably thinking, well, we all want to be liked, right? We all want to be liked. It's a human, not just human. I think it's anything that's breathing wants to be liked, anything with a brain in their head, because that's all a part of connecting with people is, do you like me? Do you respect me? Right. But is there a time where we go above and beyond that? Is there a time where we do it a little bit too obsessive, right? And that's why I say, do you suffer with it? Do you suffer with it? Because if you're living your life based on everybody's opinion, based on everybody's reality, you're suffering. You're suffering because you're not living your true self. And yeah, I get I get distracted when I start when I start getting comments, man. I love people talking to me. Paul Mitchell, absolutely not. When I finally realized how much I was loved by God, what people thought became insignificant. Ooh, Paul, that's good. That is so good. That is so good. We got comments coming in from other platforms too. And I think everybody kind of has the same sentiment outwardly. And for me, right, I'll be honest, Paul said absolutely not. For me, years ago, or maybe even a year ago, how do the kids say? I'm gonna keep it a buck. I sound like, oh man, I'm gonna keep it a buck. How does the kid say? But I'm gonna keep it 100. I'm gonna be real. Um, it took me a very long time to realize how much that I was loved by not only God, but loved by the people that's in my life. Loved by the people that's already in my life. When people are suffering, they're suffering because they know that something else, or they think that something else is better. They think that something else is better. So they're suffering. I'm in a dark, cold cave. I know what it feels like to sit in my house and know what heat feels like against my body, know what it feels like to have that hot cup of cocoa. I know what this feels like. This feels like pure hell. Pure hell because I know what heaven feels like. So back to Paul's comment. Absolutely not. When I finally realized how much I was loved by God, what people thought about me became insignificant. And that's why I say for me, it's God and the people that's in my life, the people that I'm tapping in with on a constant basis. It could be freaking every year I check in with one of my brothers. One of my brothers that was, in the Marine Corps, or for you, brothers or sisters or whatever. When you're in college or high school, those friends, you check in with them. Like for me, that's huge. That's huge. That's big. It's bigger than big. But when we start caring so much about what other people say about us, other people think about us, we're suffering, because we know that that greater love that we get from God, and depending on what religion or your spirituality, it depending on what it is that you subscribe to, there's no greater love than that, because it comes back to you tenfold. So love yourself. Love yourself, and you don't have to worry about what everybody else is saying about you. First, love yourself, then other ones. Yeah. My brother, my brother Ramani, I agree. Then other ones. My sister, no, my brother, not being liked by others is their problem, not yours. Know and love yourself first. I love that. For the people that's still with us, right? There's a quote. There's a quote by Les Brown, and I can't think of it. Is on the tip of my tongue. Put it in the comment section if you know what that quote is. Oh my God, it's gonna kill me. It's gonna kill me. As a matter of fact, on one of the podcasts I did a podcast with a NASCAR racer, and he was actually saying that he met Les Brown. He met Les Brown, and Les Brown told him that quote too. And I was just like, oh my God, I love that. Oh man, it's gonna drive me nuts if I don't figure this out. Anyway, so help me out. Look it up. Do whatever you got to do. Help me out so I can keep going with this, because I got a point. So the opinion of others and living and suffering. The opinion of others and living and suffering. I suffered for that my whole life. Always wanting people to love me, because I love the shit out of people, right? I love people, and I want everybody to love me because I love everybody. So what happens to that person that loves everybody, that gives to everybody, when somebody doesn't appreciate that? How do you stay grounded when you care about what other people think, right? You're always in a balance. And that's kind of how I was, always in a balance. What do I say? What do I not say? I mean, who else has had this problem? I can't be the only one. Out of all of these people that are watching this, I cannot be the only one. Who else suffered from that? It's funny, because I remember when I first got into the business that I'm in right now. I first got into speaking, like one of our businesses, right? I had first gotten into speaking, and I had a conversation. No, I take that back. I hadn't got into speaking. I was thinking about getting into speaking, and I had a conversation with one of my good friends right now. I'm not going to say her name. If you're watching, yeah, I'm not going to say her name, but we had this conversation, and we had I'll say her name, Laurel Youngstrom. She's an amazing inspirational speaker, transformational speaker. Her and her husband, they grow across the world, and they give their message. They give their message of hope and how to keep going when life gets you down. I encourage you to check her out. But she and we had an interaction, and I hired their company to come and talk to the folks in my company. And they came, and she did an amazing job. And I told her afterwards, what did you think? Right? What did you think about what I said, because I opened them up and I figured that this would be a chance to practice the things that I was working on. And she said, you did good. You did good. You said a lot of big words. Huh. You said a lot of big words. And that's the only thing that I heard. That's the only thing that I heard. You said a lot of big words. And then my brain started swirling. And then I came back and I'm just like, well, you asked for feedback. You asked for feedback. You got the feedback. This is the feedback that's going to help you. And she was right. I was in that moment, I was crafting the speech because I wanted everybody in that audience to like it. I wanted them to like it more than I wanted to prove to myself. So what did I do? I freaking, same thing I do right now. Freaking, I got my pen down, right? Got my pen down, got my head, got my earphones on, and I'm just listening to music, right? I'm gone. But I wasn't writing that message to actually deliver the message. I was writing that message because I wanted them to like me while I was delivering the message. And that's something that I talk a lot about to the folks that hit me up in the DMs. And we talk about getting over my fear of public speaking. I talk a lot about that. And some of the methods that I've used throughout the years, they've been very extreme. They've been very extreme, but it worked, right? Can I tell you now, when it's time to go on the stage to deliver a speech, it doesn't matter if it's if it's a speech for 1 to freaking 1,000 to 7,000 to 10,000, right? I know that I can handle it. I know that I can handle it because I took myself through these steps. But the biggest obstacle and the biggest hurdle in getting over that, right? The biggest obstacle and biggest hurdle of getting over that is not suffering because you want everybody to like you. Not suffering because you want everybody to like you. You have to love yourself first. You have to know that whatever it is that you're doing, you're living your life with good intention. You're being intentional about the things that you're doing in your life, and you're giving and you're serving, because that's what life is about, giving and serving. That's what life is about, giving and serving. You're doing all of those things. Why? Why do we continue to suffer? Why do we suffer? Because we want everybody to like us more than we want to like ourselves. More than we want to like ourselves. For me, I figured out that it wasn't about money. It wasn't about anything that was going on with the company that I was working for. What I loved to do was to do exactly what I'm doing right now, and that's talking to you. And I'll do this for the rest of my life. I've dedicated my life to doing this. That's what I like to do. So when you're going on your journey, you're going to have people that are going to tell you, you're not good. You can't do it. There's no way. I want to encourage you to maybe just nod or run away as quick as you can, because you don't want that going into your brain, because what that is having a fixed mindset. It's a fixed mindset. No matter if it's your husband, your brother, your cousin, your sister, your spouse, no matter who it is, right? Their mindset is fixed on something totally different than what your mindset is fixed on. Everybody's not going to agree with the plan or the path forward. When I got ready to go on this journey that I'm on, I told people, and they were just like, what about your kids? What? They didn't get it. But the people that rock with me, they got it. They got it. They're like, hey, This is what I need you to do. I need you to stop when you speak. While you're thinking, pause, because you're throwing some ums in there and it's distracting. Tony, don't use those big words. We get it. You're educated. But we need to get it. You need to bring your authentic self. Love yourself. Love the way that you are. Love the way that you talk. Man, look, I could go on and on, but oh my God. The speaking engagements that I've had have been at places where you would think, okay, you gotta wear a suit and tie and you should, do XYZ. I show up with the Inspire shirt on. Maybe the hat that I'm wearing, it wasn't this logo, right? It wasn't this logo, but it was one that I had made on like Etsy or something like that. But I show up with that because that's what I'm comfortable in. This is the stuff that I wear. And that feeling of not having to conform, so that, and not just like, because this is another layer, but that feeling of not having to conform to something that just really didn't fit me, right? At one point in time in my career, I would show up and I would have a shirt, I would have a tie. I even rocked the suspenders. I look pretty cool. Hey, if you worked with me and you remember those days, put it in the comment section, right? Hey, I was suited and booted, but that was the phase that I was going through. And right now, like this is my suit and tie, and I feel comfortable in this. And anybody that don't accept it, that's fine, because we're not built to be for everybody. Computers are not even built to fit everybody. If I go on my Mac, I go on my Mac for a couple of days and then I try to go back to the PC. Sometimes I just say, I just give up. I need to get my task done. The right click and I can't compute it right now. This is not built for me. Just like an Android phone, I wouldn't know how to turn the thing on. But if society was built for us to be like everybody and for everybody to be like us, it'll be quite different. There wouldn't be a difference of opinions. We wouldn't have this problem of suffering from not wanting to be liked. We wouldn't have it. When you're being your authentic self, that's when you get good. When you're being your authentic self is when you get good. I know y'all like, what is this dude doing? But yeah, it's work. It's work, but I know that I was doing that. That's what I was doing. Yeah, comment below if you've had that problem. But you get good. You get good when you stop suffering. So speaking engagements for me, and I keep going back to this, but it's not just for speakers. I'm connected with a lot of speakers. So that's why everything in my brain is like speaking, because that's where my brain's been. But I look at some of the early things that I've done as far as speaking engagements, and I cringe. And I cringe because I recognize that in myself. I recognize, man, you don't talk like that. That's not how you move. Why did you say that? right? And then that's when I noticed that my brain is clicking over from being my authentic self to maybe bending a little bit, right? If you're a jerk, maybe you don't want to be your authentic self. But if you're kind, you're loving, you're giving, and you're living a life of serving, because that's what this life is about. It's about serving. Then be your authentic self. But I would cringe because I knew what that looked like. I knew what that looked like. And it's a sad place. But I also had people around me that could bring me back and say, dude, that's not it. Like my wife, I'd be like, hey, what do you think about this, honey? What do you think about this? She'd go, it's good. It's okay. And then she goes, well, you kind of sounded like ET on there. If you don't know who ET is a motivational speaker. Man, he pulled me out of some times, him and Les Brown. And ET, man, you look at ET's YouTube channel and he giving you the energy, giving it to you. And it's aggressive. It's like, you got this one video on YouTube. It's called I forgot what it's called, but he's saying you must want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe. Meaning, like, if your lungs were to stop going, would you still be chasing this dream? Do you get what they're like? Would you still be chasing this dream? Would you still would you be obsessed about staying alive just as equal to or more than getting that goal? Right. So that's where he go. Right. But so that got me. Right. So that's ingrained in me, just listening to that and just kind of seeing how he vibes. Like, that's ingrained in me. So sometimes I'll say something and it's just like automatic, but I would like watch the video. So of course that would come up, but having people around that could say, hey, no, that's not who you are. And for me, who I am, whether it's on the stage, whether it's talking to my wife, my kids, my mom, I wanted the conversation to be like this because this is who I am. So if you're at work, if you're at home, if you're by yourself, try focusing and looking at your life, looking at your patterns, looking at your attitude, looking at your spirit, looking at your life, the people around you. Are you suffering from wanting to be liked? Are you suffering? Are you not allowed to be your authentic self? Are you living your life based on everybody else? I'm rhyming. I'm rhyming. Let me get in the comments. I think I got this one. Yeah, no, brother, not being liked by others is their problem, not yours. Know and love yourself. I agree. Harmony, we suffer when we allow ourselves to suffer. Tony always states the truth and his truth. And I so much appreciate his way of spreading a message in purity. Oh my God. I'm a softie, y'all. I think that's like 2 times this week where where my eyes just got like, just get that feeling, that feeling where you're like, oh my God. Yeah, I'm a goofball like that. I'm super No, it means a lot, right? It means a lot to me because, like I said, my whole life like went from that to this in a matter of seconds. A split decision, like a split decision. And that was from me going from wanting to be liked, right? Because there's some stuff in there. I wanted to be liked, to wanting to find my true self, my true purpose, my true calling, living in a state of flow, like for real, like flow. Like how many times, you see, I still do it, but being in a state of mind to where everything that you're doing is making you happy. Yes, it's not going to be perfect. You're going to have things externally that's going to keep that's going to keep like its foot on your back. That's going to put its foot on your back, and you're going to feel like you're drowning. You're going to feel like there's no turning back. You're going to feel like this is just, I just want to, don't cave in. You have got to keep going. You have got to keep fighting. You have got to want this thing, the joy, the end of suffering. You have got to want it as bad as you want to breathe. You've got to want it that bad. That bad. So for me, you know, and I'm going to say for you too, I'm going to declare this for all of us. What we're going to do is we're going to live our life. We're going to live our life. We are going to end the suffering of not wanting to be liked, or the suffering from wanting to be liked. See, it's already, it's gone. We don't want it. We don't need it. It's like a cancer. We have to cut it out. We have to get to being our true self. That's what joy is. Joy is loving yourself, loving your environment, giving. That's joy. I got a really good friend. If you haven't seen it, yeah, Victor. Yeah, we got this, brother. Oh, I mean, my brain, guys. This is my weakness. All right. I had to write it down because if not, I forget. I had a thought. But I want to make sure that I pay some attention to my brother Victor. I got an offer on that position. I got an offer on that position. I've adjusted my mind before doing it. Thank you for what you do. So glad I heard you live the other day and acted on it. You know, and like let me say this, like that power, that power is in you, right? For anybody that's looking at Victor's testimony, that the power is in you. There's a lot of motivational speakers, thought leaders, like some of like my peers, they will tell you that you need them, or not even tell you that, but maybe are wanting to be liked or wanting to be accepted, we follow, and we feel like the only way that we can take over our life is if we follow. It's in here. It's already in you. Greatness is already in you. Les Brown says it. You have greatness in you. That's the way that you have greatness in you. That's what Les Brown says. And what I took from that when I first heard that was that I don't need to suffer from being liked. I don't need to suffer from having a mindset to where I think that I'm not going to get the position, or I think that I'm not going to be able to do something because I'm holding myself back, because inside of my head, I have chains on my head and I need somebody else to help me release the chains. No, I have the power inside of here and inside of here. So if you're looking at Victor's testimony, that's a testimony to Victor. That's a testimony to Victor. Victor. Oh man, oh man. Congratulations, brother. Harmony, you got this, Tony. Being comfortable with your authentic self and getting to a maturity level in life where you don't have to hide behind others' pre-expectations. This is what allows us to bring joy to others. Yep. And that's a really good tie-in to, give me 1 second. I went on a bike ride this morning, and if you see like my hands and stuff, like even like my elbows, I was riding my bike, and I'm in the bike lane, and this car comes up. It wasn't going to clip me, but I'm afraid of riding in the bike lane in some of these places. People don't pay attention to it, so I was a little bit nervous riding through there because it was pretty tight, and I actually fell off my bike. Oh, my wife not watching because I'll probably get in trouble because that street is pretty bad. But so where was I going with that? But yeah, so I'm pretty thirsty, man. I went on a pretty long bike ride this morning. It lasted until this afternoon. It was pretty cool. I fell off a hill and yeah, it was pretty good. But with the statement, you got it, Tony, being comfortable with your authentic self and getting into a maturity level in life where you don't have to hide behind others' pre-expectations. This is what allows us to bring joy to others. And what I was going to say is that's a really good tie-in to what I was getting ready. I was talking about flow. And I don't know if you all have seen this movie, but it's called Happy. This movie is called Happy. It's an amazing movie. If you're suffering from wanting to be like you have that thing going on inside of your life, like you're suffering because you want to be liked, that's a good movie to watch. And in that movie, it's talking about flow. It's talking about some people living in third world countries, and you would look at their life and you would just say, damn, how are they so freaking happy? How are they happy? You know, people like that too, right? Where you're just looking, it's how are they so freaking happy? What are they so freaking happy about? I've said that, right? I've said that, but in this movie, right? This movie addresses that. The people that are just so happy that you like it, you love it, you want it, but you just like, it's a lot sometimes, right? But this movie, Happy, it talks about that. It talks about getting into flow. It talks about service to others. It talks about joy. It talks about just so what Harmony said. It talks about joy, and it's serving people, right? It's serving. I know that sounds crazy. Do you suffer from wanting to be liked? And now I'm telling you that joy, according to this movie, is about serving people, serving the people that are in your life. In your life. I hate to say this, but another quote from Les Brown. Les Brown say, only surround yourself. I think it's with QPs. That's quality people. People that's going to add value to your life, not somebody that you can take from or anything like that, but people that is like you, people that want to grow, people that don't have a fixed mindset, people that have a growth mindset. And if you surround yourself around those people, guess what they're going to be doing? They're going to be given to you. And if you're one of those quality people, you are going to be given to them. That's what joy is. That's what joy is about. Joy is about giving. But in order to give, you have got to get over the suffering of wanting to be liked. And I said suffering. So I'm going to wrap this up. Yeah, that's funny, man. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. I'm looking at another platform, and somebody's like, "Hey, Tony, your website is www.tonytaylorinspires.com. Why is it saying tonytaylor.com?" Yeah. I like that. That's feedback. That's feedback, because guess what? That's screwed up. So we got to fix that, because the website, that came perfect too. The website is tonytaylorinspires.com. That's the website. These videos, I do these videos to kind of, not necessarily so it could be like a show, but I do these videos because whatever it is that I'm going through in life, that I'm growing through in life, I'm sorry. Right? You change up your language, you change up your life, whatever it is that I'm growing through in life, or have grown through, or some stuff I just need to figure out how to get over. I'm using this platform. I'm using this platform to do so. And I believe in the thought concept that our pains, our struggles could be made a whole hell of a lot easier if we had community. So, if we have community, there's unity in community. I stole that one from my amazing mentor, Michael Pitchford. That's what he says. He says there's unity in community. That's why I do this, because there's unity in community. I met some amazing people off of this platform that have changed my freaking life. Okay. Changed my life. They've changed my life. And that's from networking and saying, hey, I'm struggling with this. So that's me. I know I said I was going to go, but that's me saying, I feel vulnerable and I need help in this, or I see that you need something and you need help in this. Like, my life has changed from serving, and also allowing other people to be a blessing, in my life. So unity in community. I got that from Michael Pitchford. And as a matter of fact, before I go, I'll tell you the story about him, and it ties into this so good. So good. I interviewed Dr. Summer Watson on the show. I interviewed her on Tony Taylor Inspires, the podcast. And I had just gotten into podcasting, and it was just me learning. That's what that is about. If you've listened to the podcast that I have right now is Leaders Lead the Podcast. And that podcast is, I'm putting everything in that. Some of the best guests that you can ever imagine. Right. So back to Dr. Summer Watson. I met her on I'm passionate, man. I love what I do. I love what I do. So I can kind of lose track at times, but Dr. Summer Watson, I had her on the show. It was amazing. I learned so much from her. It was one of those interviews. Go and look at it. If you got a chance, go and look at it on my YouTube. Tony Taylor Inspires. Just go ahead and click that into YouTube. You should be able to find me. But go and check out that interview with Dr. Summer Watson. It was amazing. You'll see me. You'll see me. I loved it. It was like I'm leaned into it like this because I felt like I was at the kitchen table. I felt like I was at the kitchen table getting game from one of my aunties or getting game from my mom. Like I felt like I was sitting at the kitchen table and I was learning so much from her. But what she did was afterwards, we got off and, she said, you got to check out this motivational speaker. You got to check out this motivational speaker. He is amazing. And I had just gotten into the game and I'm like, why do I need to look at another motivational speaker? I was going to wait to share the whole thing with her. So hopefully she's not watching because I kind of want to tell her this is a special story, special. But I said, okay. And I think she maybe sent the message with both of us in it. And we connected. And once he and I connected, he said, I'm going to be your mentor. And I'm just like, wow. Huh? It was shocked because I've been looking at TV. Well, I said TV. I'm not looking at no TV. If you look at the interwebs, they have everybody's a mentor. This thing is annoying me. There we go. So you look at the interwebs, everybody is a mentor and everybody is not everybody. I don't want to generalize it, but they're all selling some type of mentorship. And some of these mentorships are like $20,000, $30,000. And I think that that's cool if that works for you. But I'm going to tell you right now, I ain't got no $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 for a mentor. I don't have it. Just don't have it for that. We got to get these kids into college, right? So I said, yeah, okay. And I'm listening and it's just like, oh my God, he gave me so much game about what it is that I do that I'm like, there must be a trick. There must be a trick. It's been over a year now and there was no trick. My life changed from me not wanting to suffer anymore, for feeling like I'm being liked, or for not wanting people to or not caring. That's what I'm saying. Well, that's not even it. Not Karen. It's on the, oh my God, it's on the tip of my tongue. If you could think about it, put it in the comment section. But getting to the point where you realize, but it doesn't affect you as much if somebody don't like you, or if somebody don't agree with you, or if somebody don't support you, even the people that you supported. Getting to the point where it don't affect you. You do that, it's going to change your life. That's your mindset. That's a growth mindset. So instead of me saying, you know what, I need to surrender so that I can get good. This dude came in my life, man, and it's been amazing. I told you about the movie Happy. He was in it. He was in it. He's a man, interesting guy. Interesting guy. He's like a legend, and a legend in California. Everybody knows about this dude. I mean, he is really good. He was best friends with Robin Williams. He even did coach Robin Williams on some stuff, and now he's my coach. He's my coach, and it's so freaking humbling. I mean, he was in the movie Taxi. He's actually the voice of Ewok. I mean, he's an amazing guy. But had I would have not had the wherewithal, right? Well, I'm not going to say I had it, because I feel like the universe is pushing me that way. Had I would have not opened myself up, I wouldn't have had that relationship. And that's what life is about. Life is about having relationships, but not having relationships to your detriment. And your detriment is that you, let's say we, because I like to think of myself as a recovering, somebody that was a recovering person that suffered from wanting to be liked. But you want quality people in your life. We're humans. We have to have people in our life to lean on, but not to our detriment. Get people in your life that's going to help you. You, more importantly, you be a beacon of hope for somebody else. You be a beacon of hope for somebody else. There's some people, drop of a hat, they need something, I'm there. I'm there. Not because I want something from them, but because I believe that joy is given. Joy is serving. Joy is paying attention. Paying attention, but not being so focused on who likes you, because that's a deep, deep, deep form of suffering. Harmony Wood, thank you as always, Tony. Thank you. I appreciate you. My brother Victor, I got my wife listening to your message today, loving it. Us. Oh, I love it, man. I love it. I'm glad that I'm glad that you're getting something out of this. I really appreciate it. And for anybody else that want to connect with me, please feel free to do so. My website is www.tonytaylor.inspires.com. www.tonytaylor.inspires.com. My email address is info@tonytaylorinspires. If there's something that I can do to help you, if there's something I can do to help you, you're going through some hardship, you're going through some pain, maybe you're suffering from this right here, right? You're having some leadership issues at work, and you're trying to figure out how to get through it. I'm really proud really proud that our company, we now offer that leadership training. It is my bread and butter. If you're going, when I say my bread and butter, I'm talking about it's that thing that really, really, really gets me fired up, because most of the people in the world, they work for somebody. Most of the people in the world, they work for somebody, and working for whoever you're working for, right? It could be a stress, and if you don't have the right leadership in place, it could just be a mess. It'll just be a mess. But I think leadership is really important, right? Leadership is important. It ties back into you suffering, me suffering, us suffering from wanting to be liked or wanting the likes. I've suffered from it. But us suffering from wanting to be liked, it all ties back. It all ties back to that. And with the leadership training that our company offers, um, it's getting those leaders to realize that you, the employee, run the place. You run the place, and you should be treated good. You should be served. Leadership is a privilege. Some people say leadership has its privileges, and usually, this is just what I say. I believe that usually when people say that, the person that's saying that, that's their cop out of saying, I get to get more things than my employees, right? That's what I believe. So we change that to, it's a privilege to be in leadership. And in order to fulfill that privilege of being in leadership, you have got to be a leader in your life first. A leader in your life first. And in order to be a leader in your life, you have to take care of yourself. You have to take care of your mind. You got to take care of your body, and make sure that you're putting some stuff into your soul. Because it doesn't matter what religion you believe in, you have, in order to stay centered, at least me, I'm going to say me on this one, I always have to believe that there is something greater than myself. And that's not just the things that I see, because I believe that the people will always be greater than me, because I'm changing things around in my life. It's about serving. But if those things weren't in place, if I didn't have that sense of not only purpose for myself, but purpose to give to something greater, and understanding that there is something greater, I would be void. I would have nothing up here, down there, or any of this. I wouldn't have it. So I want to encourage you, your minds, stay off of the social media. Not stay off of it. That sounds like somebody daddy. Stay off of that social media. Govern yourself when it comes to social media. Govern yourself when it comes to social media. Give me 1 second. Well, I'm gonna try something new. Hold up. And I'm gonna get to the comments in a second. Give me 1 second. I want y'all to let me know what y'all think about this. Yeah, I know. Cheesy, right? But so, all right, there we go. What are we doing? There we go. So, your mind, body, and soul. Yeah, my boy Victor, he said he like it. Got to vote. Yep. Thanks for taking this big Saturday afternoon to mentor. Oh, brother, you have no idea. You are mentoring me. But I received that. I really do. I appreciate it. So your mind, right? This is what I do for my mind. I read a lot, and I don't read books. I'll be real clear, man. I'll be clear on this one. I don't read books. I've bought several books to I don't actually physically read them, right? I listen to audiobooks, but I bought several books from my friends, a lot of my peers, they're selling books and stuff like that. So I've bought those books from them to support them, but also I'll buy the audiobook as well. So I read books for my mind. I take breaks from social media. When I say take breaks, it could be certain people, it could be certain platforms, it could be whatever, it could be the news, whatever it is, man. I'll take a break from it. If it's not positive, then I will like kind of because I'm one of those people that I like action movies, right? And you know what happens when you watch an action movie? Sometimes you could be consumed by the action or the drama, right? So just kind of clearing that. I go do things that I like to do, right? I like fishing, so I'll go around the sound out here in the Pacific Northwest in my boat. I'll go hit some lakes. I'll spend time with the wife, spend time with my kids, spend time with some of my close friends, right? And family. So I'm making sure that this is intact, because if not, it's not pretty. Just like anybody else. It's not pretty, because there's three pillars to this, right? My body. I wake up every morning. I make sure that that I go on a bike ride. I'm going on a bike ride 10, 15, no, not 15. I don't want to start lying here. I think the longest I went was like 12, but I freaking enjoy it. That's my joy. That's my joy. Can you imagine me out there on my bike in the morning? I got this like cool freaking helmet that I wear that has Bluetooth. It's pretty dope. I'm like obsessed with it. I'm obsessed with it. I love it. It's my joy. It's that thing. I wake up in the morning and I'm just like, I get to go do this today. Ride my bike. That's my joy. I get to do what I do for a living today. That's joy. I want to ensure that you're in that joy. So that's the body part. Changing things, the way that I eat. I love food. Food don't always love me, right? I got some crazy allergies that just affect me. So I have to freaking eat clean for the rest of my life. And it's something I realize in order for it to work, but it helps me. It helps my skin, right? It helps it's good. I drink water when I can. So that's your body. And then whatever it is that you subscribe to as far as spirituality, that's important, right? At least that's what I believe. I believe that it's important. I believe that it's very important, right? Believe in something that, if you believe in something that's higher than you, it could just be the people, right? What's your life's goal? What's your dream? Where are you headed? What's your legacy? On my podcast, Leaders Lead the Podcast. I always finish up. I ask, what's your legacy? What's your legacy? What's in your spirit? When you leave this earth, what do you want people to say about you? I'm not talking about suffering, what they're going to say, because they're going to say what they're going to say. All right. When I was growing up, I told you that I always had that problem of suffering from wanting to be like my mom would say, boy, you think they're not going to talk or they're not going to say nothing bad about you? They talk trash about Jesus Christ. They talk trash about Jesus Christ. I don't think she said trash. I think she said another one. But they talk trash about Jesus Christ. So who are you? Okay. I want it to be liked. So if you didn't hear nothing that I said today, the last thing that I want you to hear is this. But it don't even matter that I'm saying it. What matters is that you believe it. What matters is if you see it. Even if you don't see it, you believe that you can get to this point of getting over the suffering from being liked. You're beautiful. You're uniquely made. There's nobody on the face of the planet Earth that's built like you. Your strengths, they belong to you. Use them. Don't worry so much about people not liking you or liking your ideas. They belong to you. God, the universe gave them to you for a reason. They belong to you. You use them. Or somebody else's God-given talents is going to use you. And sometimes that's not even a bad thing. But if you're suffering from wanting to be liked, you have to realize the potential that you have inside of you. Start making plans. Have an understanding with yourself that your dreams, your goals, the things that you know that the universe is calling you to do, start walking towards that purpose. Understanding that some people, they just ain't going to see it. Some people, they're not going to believe it. Some people, they're just waiting on you to do it and they'll follow you. They'll follow you. When I first started my journey with the whole podcasting thing, I was telling you guys about Tony Taylor Inspires, the podcast. It was kind of like me just talking to people that I'm interested in. If you want to check out some of those, go and check them out. It's on all of your major podcast streaming networks. I said that right this time. Yeah. but that's where those are at. Go check them out. Amazing interviews, just like I told you, with Dr. Summer Watson. And I got some interviews, Jesse Uigi, that NASCAR driver, right? He's black. Can you believe that? NASCAR driver, dude, me and him, we kind of look alike. No, but that made me proud to see that. He's in the NASCAR, he's kicking butt. So he's on there. Tony Taylor Inspires the podcast. I got my friend Sejal Thatcher. She's out here killing it. She's out here killing it. She'll probably kill me if she heard me say this, but she is, I would go ahead and say, a civil rights activist. She's killing it. She's killing it. But in that podcast, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about those people. We're talking about those people that are making a difference in the community, right? So go and check out that podcast. But what I was saying was, when I was trying to get people on that podcast, I would get this. So this is for the folks that's venturing out like with their own businesses. You're going to get shut down. I was getting shut down left and right. Some people would see the message, hey, I want you to be on my podcast. Oh, I want you to come and talk to me. And then like I'll see it that it says seen, but then they don't respond to me. And then I just go, oh man, that hurts. Or they'll say, how many downloads you got? Oh man, that hurts. I'm brand new. 6 downloads. Anyway, yeah, go check out Tony Taylor Inspires the podcast and leave a review, right? Leave a review so we can get more downloads. But people would ignore the messages. So they would just say, dude, that ain't going to help me. I'm good. But I kept going. Look, I kept going. And now there's the same people. I scroll up to some of the messages for the request for Leaders Lead the Podcast or Tony Taylor Inspires the Podcast. And there's some of those same people. So, of course, we're going to have them on the show. But that just goes to show you that it's not like you can't suffer from, wanting everybody to like you because you're not for everybody at that time. So recognize that. And I know that you have a story like that in you. Leave a comment down below. I would love to hear, some of the things that you've battled through. I'm going to get off of here. Like I said, my website is TonyTaylorInspires.com, TonyTaylorInspires.com, not TonyTaylor.com. Info@TonyTaylorInspires.com. Please feel free to reach out if there's anything that I can do to help. You just need to talk. Friend, hit me up. I look forward to hearing from you. Let's see. Amen. Say it out loud for the people in the back of the internet. I love it. This is what I do, produce corporate events live and virtual. So, that's cool. That's really cool. Man, maybe we could, maybe you and I could get together sometime, brother, and see what we can do together. I got some crazy ideas. Always got some crazy ideas. So, yeah, I am going to go. I got some homework to do. Until next time. How do I end this? How do most people end these? I've been going for a long time. All right. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.